software today, so I'm not actually sure if we're going to be live anywhere, but I'm hoping that we are. So I'm just going to give it a second to make sure it's connecting. I think it is on Instagram. It definitely will be. Oh no, right, we're going to have to change the layout for Instagram because it splits the screen and looks shocking. I wonder if it's too
Yeah.
late. No, I don't think I can. Oh, that's
Oh, no, it's
terrible. There
okay.
must.
Right. Oh, it
Oh,
keeps
no,
changing.
look, no, look. It keeps changing. That's rubbish. Why is it doing that? What if. Why can't I change it to like Instagram layout? What if we. I wonder if, like, if I do it full screen, it's just you.
I can only see you.
Oh, can you? What can we see? Oh, for goodness sake, this is just crap, isn't it?
Does anybody know any tech VAs out there?
Oh, this is what happens when you don't practice. Just go for it. Why isn't there like a long ways one? And why does it look like that? That's just shocking. That is, we can't do it like that. Oh no. And it's going out on oh, it might have changed.
It
Oh
keeps changing back.
no, I think the one I had it on just is probably better. So as the speaker goes, it flicks between us. But I've just changed it to another one, and I'm wondering if there's a delay on Instagram, so it's going to flick back. I think it is. One
Anybody
minute, we'll
watching, can you
find out.
comment and tell us what's happening?
Well, one of the reasons I've moved to, oh, it has, right. So let me just go back to what we was. When it was on full screen, it flicks between us, so that's better. Okay, so we've learned something new. And I'm hoping that the chat, I don't know if you can see, Kirsty, but the chat on the right hand side, could you do like, I can see you're on Instagram. Can you type in a message and see if it comes through?
This is very technical
Because
for me.
it should technically come through here. Um, and I don't think it's gonna, because it never did in Restream.
I've sent it.
Well, that didn't come through. That's really annoying. That it doesn't work. It doesn't. We can't see the public chat.
Do you want me to stay
Okay,
on my mobile? Do it.
do what? Oh no, it's fine. I've got it. I've always got it up, so it's fine.
Okay.
Now, if anybody's tuning in to Facebook, I don't know where it actually goes. I have no idea where that live actually goes on Facebook because it's kind of like in the background. Um, let's just have a look. Let's just see if I can paste something in to a post. Maybe I have to finish the thing to get it to actually work. One sec. We'll get better at this, guys. We just will.
We promise.
We promise.
I can't see it.
What? Oh, on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I've done a save. I've saved. You have to do these things. Connect the video source. Go live now. That's what I didn't do yesterday. Now we might be live. Oh, we are actually now live on Facebook. So yesterday I just forgot to press a few buttons. So now I know.
Oh yeah,
That's the
I can
most
see us.
important thing. Yeah. Woo. So now today, guys, we are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. But despite Riverside FM's promises, we can't see the chat here in the studio. So we have to open up all these browsers for all of the different places to see your chats. But Facebook's like notoriously terrible at not showing the chats. I don't know why it does that. So I am just going to hope to God that I can see any chats that are on there. But if not, then we'll answer them later. So apologies. But please feel free to ask questions as you go along because this is all we do this for you guys so that you can get the benefit of building your VA business. Okay, so today we're talking about is there room for everyone? So finding your place in the VA world. So Kirsty, what do you think? Do you think there's room for all the VAs that are
I
out
don't
there?
know. I don't know. When I thought about it this morning, I thought I don't think there is because I think you've got to.
Really? That's
I,
interesting.
yeah, I think it's very easy to get lost, isn't it?
Mm,
There's so many VAs out there, and it's so easy to get lost. If you haven't got something that's nobody else is offering, or you can do it better, or whatever, then
mm.
I'm not quite sure if those people are going to stand out as much. What do
Yeah, I
you think?
think, well, I think there's room for everyone, but it's how you present yourself, it's how
Mm,
you niche. That's what's going to help you stand out, because the problem is there's so many VAs but competing at such different price ranges. Because the market is open globally, I
mm.
can be a business owner in the UK and hire someone in the Philippines for half the price. And so that's where the competition lies. But I do think there's room for everyone. I
Mm.
think there's plenty of room. It's just you can't all be generalist VAs.
This is
You,
the thing, isn't it? I mean, I'm not, I am a simply admin VA. I am an admin VA, and I do other bits on the side. But and this is not in any way against anything. But if everybody can offer those services, you can be anybody.
mm,
You could be a operations manager of an alcohol exporter, but actually you've changed to be a virtual assistant in general admin. So anybody can
mm,
do that general admin side. But admin's not. Although I don't do my own, it's easy enough to pick up, isn't it? But if you don't have a niche, then people go onto LinkedIn, search for a VA. Imagine how many millions, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages would come up. But if you're not standing
mm.
out, then you're not going to get noticed.
Yeah, 100%. You're not now. And like you've just said, like let's say if you're a business coach, for example, they're probably not just going to look for a VA.
Mm,
They're probably going to have a specific problem and search for that. It might be a tech VA.
mm,
So it is thinking about what your industry is, what your niche is, how you market yourself, especially with keywords, so that you show up when your ideal client is looking for you. So I think clients want ease. I've had a nightmare trying to find, for example, I want to start a networking event in Derby for virtual assistants. So anyone listening interested, let me know. But just to find a venue, just to find a bloody venue is a nightmare. So
haven't
I'm
you got a
typing
venue?
in, oh, I can't be here. It needs to be in the city centre. So I'm typing in like pubs with a private room, cafes with a private room, venue. It's just so bloody hard. And
Mm,
what I really want is a really quirky, funky venue with a private room, and it's not going to cost a lot of money. But
mm.
nobody's wrote that into their freaking website, so I can't find it, and they're probably
That's
out there.
This is the thing, isn't it? And I am the world's worst for marketing myself. I never post on social media. My link, all my social media is either linked together or because I don't know how to separate it, and I haven't got the time to do it
Mm,
anyway. But it's about the consistency, isn't it? And I had this conversation with a new client the other day, and she was like, "Why don't we know what to post and like how to word it?" And I was like, "It's all about your keywords and all about your consistency, because people that are viewing your profile will be looking at when you're posting and what you're posting and things like that. So it's about having that constant, you know, awareness that you're there and you're available."
yeah, consistent messaging. So
Mm,
it's really funny because I did a whole strategy day on my own business yesterday, which blew my mind. And Kirsty got loads of excited calls off me, as she does when I'm off on one. I think it's my undiagnosed ADHD, but anyway. So I thought I've got to figure out what I'm doing. And this is a really good example of how it works, right? Niching and standing out. As you all know, because I've shared the journey, last year, our VA business that was doing absolutely amazing, it hit the six-figure turnover, like literally crashed and burned to the ground because we hit the VAT threshold and I didn't strategize for it. I wasn't in a good headspace. So it hit us instead of us tackling it, before it happened. And we lost a lot of clients on the back of it. The reason we lost the clients is they were the wrong client, ideal client at that point in time. So they'd been the right client up until that point, but we really should have got ahead of who is now going to be our ideal client when we hit that threshold, because we're going to be increasing prices by 20%. So we need a new type of client that's going to be able to pay for that. Problem is, I didn't do that until after it happened, and
Mm,
that's okay because we've had like the most success in the last month than we've had in the last 5 months,
mm,
and that's been because of really thinking about the direction we're going, and it hasn't been easy because just like you guys out there are scared of niching, and that means you're going to block people out. I have those same fears too. So we moved to like online business management, and then it was like fractional business management. It was strategizing, and then it was like, okay, well then we'll still do the VA stuff, and it was just this scattergun approach because I was worried about losing potential business. But by throwing back in there the oh we're still VAs, I was again just diluting the message, diluting the audience. Who am I really marketing to? And I'm just going to be in the same problem with people not being able to afford the services. So I actually went on to ChatGPT yesterday and looked in the Explore GPTs, the ones that you get if you pay. And there was a consultant one in there, which has blown my mind. Honestly, it's like having an actual business consultant who talks to you like a friend and asks you questions, and really, really brutal questions, and tells me honestly what I'm doing wrong. And we spent the day together, me and Jamie, yesterday, and it was amazing. And I realised, yeah, he's right. This is what I've got to do, and I redefine my offer. So I won't be competing with VAs because I'm not going to be in the VA market. But we still can offer VA services.
mm,
But how people will get to those VA services through my business is through strategy first. So they have to have a strategy session, which they pay for, and on the back of that, they get a proposal which tells them what the next plan of action is, and that might be a very bespoke plan, and we've just converted a 6 grand bespoke plan on the back of that. And it might be that they just need a virtual assistant, but
mm,
the blueprint's kind of the gatekeeper to that information.
mm,
And by doing that, I'm only going to be accepting clients that can pay the money. And that's what the wording has changed on the website. We're here for service-based business who are ready to scale, and they're earning, 10K months, 100K, turnover a year. And it was really scary to do that because I thought, oh my God, I'm going to alienate the
mm,
50 granders or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're not willing to pay. So I need to alienate them. I need to qualify my leads. And that's why really understanding your target market and how you position yourself is so important if you don't want to be a VA that's in a crowded market.
mm. It's really interesting actually because I had another call with a new client the other day, and she has the very same attitude that we have. This is what we offer. This is the
Mm.
price. If you can't pay it, if it's not for you, piss off. Because otherwise, you're just wasting my time. But she, do you know what I mean? That's the kind of the attitude that she has. If this, this is a product, this is the price, this is how it works. Get in touch if you want it. Don't get in touch if you want if the price isn't right, because that's the price. I'm not going to haggle on it, and nobody should haggle, by the way. Anybody that's listening, never ever haggle on your prices. And so, and that's the attitude that we have now taken, isn't it? This is
Oh
what you
yeah,
need.
well, like brutal, yeah.
Yep, this is what you need. This is what we offer. This is the price. If you can't pay it, don't waste my time.
Yeah, exactly. And do you know what? So it's like the other day, some of our clients that have come have have come after 2 years of nurturing them, right? This is mainly people I've met in person, I've developed a relationship with, I see them networking all the time. And then eventually they're ready. And there was a guy this week who replied to one of my emails. I have spoke to him loads of times. He's come to my in-person days, and he's sat and looked me in the eye and told me he's getting quotes for a website, and dismissed me when I've said I could give you one, to go down this route of cheap, which has cost him ultimately. And then eventually he's ready. He saw an email I sent out, because if you're on my LT business management email list, I just send out a weekly email about strategy. It's just like me chatting to a friend. I'm really open and honest. And I talked about getting leads through breadcrumbing. By the way, I did a 15-minute live on this on Facebook. It didn't record live, but I have put the video. So if you want to go to the I Am More Than a VA Facebook page, you can see the live on there, see the video on there about how you can do this yourself. And I gave a live example. I'll come back to that in a moment. Remind me, because I'll forget because of my perimenopause. But anyway, so he's replied to me and said, oh, this is the situation. I mean, I really could do with your help. I happened to be going to a networking event that he was also attending the following day. So I said to him, I'll sit with you and we'll chat. Now, I offer, up until that point, up until yesterday when Jamie and I were having a conversation,
Deep
I
know about
offered,
Jamie.
oh, yes, he knows all about it. I think Jamie might be a woman because it's spelled differently. But anyway, so I said, I used to offer like an hour initial call, 30-minute initial call. So I spent 45 minutes with him and I thought, well, that's our initial call out the way. Now it's 15 minutes. We've reduced it down to 15 minutes. This is your 15-minute triage call for me to tell you which one of these services you need. And then you'll get the rest of information out of my head. And so I sat with him, got the information I needed. And then yesterday, after that, he sent me about 10 emails with all of these different documents in for me to look at. And I went, I'm not looking at them. I said, I really appreciate my email was really quite abrupt, right? But polite and professional friendly. He said, with all due respect, my time is reserved for my paying clients. I think this is what I could do for you. I want you to know that I'm really good. Here's my Trustpilot reviews. This is the best strategy I think you need right now, which is marketing. He actually needs a little bit of business, a little bit of marketing, so I amalgamated the two. It's 500 quid. And if you buy that, I promise you, I will help you put a strategy together so you stop wasting money on people that can't help you.
Mm.
And but you've got to pay. And what did he do this morning?
He's
He
paid.
said, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he sent you the email saying, yeah, how do
yeah,
I pay?
I know.
There you go. Just by
It's really
being like that
it's
with people.
it's really funny, isn't it? Right? If you just flip it and go back to how we used to do it, like all those emails, like the nurturing and the fear of missing out emails and all that kind of thing. And now we're just going, this is what I do. If you want it, pay me. If you don't, see you later.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm
you know what
like,
it works? Yeah, it works because we value us,
mm,
we value the business, we value where we've got to. We know the level of quality you're going to get back. Like for the strategy, one of the people said it blew them away. You
mm,
know, the level of detail that they get and the level of work they get on the back of that is valuable. It
mm,
can be game changing for your business, and we know that. So we're not going to mess around with people. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I have given it away at points for like existing clients who I just desperately wanted to keep. So I've done it for pennies. That's not going to happen ever
no,
again. It's not.
no,
And you know, it's little things like, so when we've had to quote for work recently, I have still been a bit fearful. So somebody will brazenly on the phone, they'll go, what you want about 10 hours a month? I want 10 hours a week. And you'll sit there thinking, yeah, but when you see the price, you won't. So
yeah,
what I always do is I put in the price for what they've said, and then I put a caveat in. But you can start at this many hours a month. Now we don't do 5 hours anymore. And if I think 10, I put 15. If I think 15, I put 20.
mm,
Because why the hell not? Because
yeah.
you need a buffer, and we don't plan buffers in enough.
Do you know what we don't? It's quite interesting because a client of mine, he's just run out of time already, and he's only renewed 20 days ago or something. So
Yeah.
he's not due to renew anytime soon. And I keep saying to him, "You haven't got enough time. You haven't got enough time." But his cash flow can't incorporate an upgrade at
Yeah.
the moment. But you're right. We don't. We often don't we quote just, yeah, 10 hours is fine, but you don't actually. You should actually overquote, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Because there's inevitably additional time. I mean, one of the quotes we just did, one of the proposals we just did, was for somebody who wanted lead generation. And then I said to her, and you can pay an additional 5 hours a month for account management support, where Kirsty will be the work person overseeing that work. She never meets the VA. She doesn't have to do any of the check-ins. Kirsty handles it. And she was like, yeah, of course. It's value. It's the value that you're giving and the perceived value that the client's getting from you. And
Mm,
if you can stand out for that value, for the outcomes, for the results, you aren't just a generalist VA anymore in a massive pond of
yeah.
20 billion fish. You know, you are definitely niching when you start to do that. So when we talk about is there room for everyone, I think there is, but
Mm,
I think you've got to be more than a generalist VA. And if you are a generalist VA, because there are people that do need that, you've got to be positioning yourself properly. You know,
mm.
I keep seeing Facebook and Instagram posts from VAs that say, I can help you with your admin. And that's just not going to cut it.
Well,
That
no.
doesn't cut it.
And I think, and I bang on about this all the time. Referrals are huge. And get
Yes.
because we've had a client recently. off the back of a networking event that you attended in London, who
Mm.
wanted to sign up with us, but I didn't have availability. And because they'd been referred to work with us with me, they said, well, actually, I wanted to work with Kirsty because they'd had a referral from a previous client. So
Mm.
honestly, bang out those referrals as much as you possibly can, because that's what's going to get you to stand out as well.
Yeah, definitely. Talk about your testimonials. I mean, people want to know. They want to know how good you are. They want to know what results you've achieved for people in the past. And just saying you can do admin, what does that tell people? You
Nothing.
want to share the benefits of what you do. How will it change, transform their lives? Think about every post you write, starting with a transformation statement. You know,
Mm,
what is that transformation that you're going to make to that person's life? And that's what you'll be talking about. I mean, another thing we do is we so like you've just said, I attended event, I sponsored a client event. I am putting myself now in rooms with people that are likely to be my ideal client. This morning I was looking at an exclusive members club. It's £1,800 a year, £250 an event, plus that, to go to these high profile, high ticket dinners, events. They're the rooms I need to be in. I need to
mm,
start paying for dinners, lunches, no free events. So
mm,
think about what type of service you're offering, where that ideal client's going to be, and position yourself at networking events where none of the free ones, the online ones are great, but they're not perfect.
no,
So I would be face to face as much as possible and be at places where people are willing to pay. If you need high paying clients, you're not going to get them at free networking events.
no. And I think you're right about saying about just putting I can do all your admin for you, because one of our really long term clients, I've just done a load of onboarding packages for an employee of hers, and I was just chatting to her about like credit control and things like that, and she said to me she's got a client that owes her £8,000. And I said, well, just send me the details and I'll like phone them. She was like, what would you do that? And I'm like, yes. Like that is
Mm-hmm.
one thing that
Yeah.
clients will adore you for, is if you pick up the phone and get payments. So we worked with the husband of this client for, I
Mm.
think I worked with them for about 2 weeks in the end. I think I got just over 10 grand back from them
10 grand, yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's a real niche.
Yeah.
That's a real niche to have.
That's a proper niche, yeah.
Yeah, if you're not
Yeah.
scared of picking the phone up and saying to people, I'm from this place, can you put the payment through while I'm on the phone? That is a really good niche to offer.
Yeah, because you're going to be able to demonstrate results really
Yeah.
fast. Like on the back of that, we were telling people, oh, we've just got 10 grand back for this client.
Mm,
I mean, it's tracking the data. So one of the things we do, we really do need to get some up to date data on this, is we help a client who's in the mergers and acquisitions business with lead generation, and that has transformed into deals that would
mm,
be worth millions. And we haven't really talked about that, and we should be talking about that with
mm,
people as well, and saying, we help this business owner to achieve this many million. And we've done that, but it is sharing what your outcomes are. So people they don't want to know what you can do, they want to know
what
how
you've
you
done.
can transform their lives and what you've done, yeah, and how it's going to benefit them.
Mm,
I know a flipping hammer can put a nail in the wall, but the end result is my gorgeous picture that's going to be up there, and that's what I want to
mm,
make sure it can do. It can
yeah,
make sure it can be good enough that it can hang that picture. So that's the kind of language you need to be talking.
yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It might be interesting to get Mark on a call on a podcast one day, actually.
Oh gosh, no. He's a talker. um, so I do think there's room for everyone, but I think there's a massive opportunity for virtual assistants at the moment, because you can do so much more than what VAs could do before. You can do VIP days, you can specialise in AI. I mean, I got a call yesterday from the Business Peak District forum, and they've asked me to come and talk at a summit, an AI summit, just because they know I speak at events. They know of me because I'm all over the place all the time and socials. That's called personal brand building, by the way. And so they were like, you just came to mind straight away. These kind of things make you an authority, and they make you really valuable. Like, people are going to look at you and go, God, this person knows their shit, they know what they're talking about. And so if you can get into AI and really just like one part of it, it doesn't have to be a lot. We said this last week, you only have to know a little bit more than what your client knows. So
Mm,
for example, video editing. So you could say, I could transform your content into multiple video shorts, for content repurposing, and then use like Opus, which does it all for you.
Yeah.
But you know that, and your client doesn't know that. It's not like you're scamming the client. You still have to do the work and check everything and whatever. But you literally imagine your capacity has gone from what would have been hours of work for someone, where you could now, in that 1 hour, do work for about 3 clients,
Mm.
because your capacity increases because you're using AI. So if you can use AI and niche into a particular AI subject, that's another avenue for virtual assistants to go down right now, and it's massive. Building out AI agents, AI chatbots, that's really important. And then just niching into results driven services. So
Yeah.
it's like your hamster making all
It's
that
my guinea
noise.
pig. I'm so
Guinea
sorry.
pig. So yeah, results driven, like we've just said. If you can say, I'm a credit control VA, I'm your external credit controller, here when you need me, and I can get you back tens of thousands. Now, what I wouldn't be doing with that kind of service is having them just as and when. They'd have to pay a retainer for your
Yeah. Oh no,
services.
absolutely. Because it's
Yeah.
not it's something that you can offer across the board, isn't it? All the time. It's not just again,
Mm,
we wouldn't advise to pay on invoice either. So always get,
no.
payment up front on a subscription or a retainer,
Yeah.
because
Or
it will be
even
yeah.
yeah, or even you take a percentage, a commission fee of what the value is.
Mm.
That could rack up pretty quickly. So
Do you
there's
know what
so
else?
many ways. Mm,
Do you know what else we do
go
with
on.
some of our clients as well? We refer them. So we had a client that we were working with that we were setting their automation up, and she wanted some
Mhm.
leaflets printing. So we actually referred one of our other clients to actually do that printing for them.
Mm,
And you can
yeah.
like get a deal between you and that client. It's like with the new accountant. I always refer
Mm,
him. He said to me once, like, if you refer me and it comes off, then I'll give you some commission. I'm like, no. But if you can do, if you do that for several of your clients, an accountant, printing, whatever it is, staging companies, whatever, you can get an additional income off that.
yeah. And we do that. We've got clients that are leaving us because they are having to take on actual physical executive assistant. And they've always referred to us, but they've done it on the back of getting free time. But this time, in fact, have we give them their free time for this latest referral that's come through?
Oh, isn't it on the second month? I'm gonna have to take this out.
Yeah. So they could come back and get 3 more hours. But they
Yeah,
have left, and the point is, we have said to them, why don't we continue the referral scheme, because we offer commission, and they've said yes.
yeah.
So there's just so many ways. I know we're not talking about how you stand out and how, if there's room for everybody, by talking about that, but we're just giving you ideas of the ways you can stand out, the way you can make yourself relevant, is
Mm.
by having this kind of savvy business sense.
That's right, and I'm the world's worst for when we come on these calls and you say things and I think, oh, I could do that, and I always forget to do it. But there are so many things that you could do to increase your income and things like that, and stand out within the VA world. It's just
Yeah,
getting the right
definitely.
idea, and when you've got that idea, do a little bit of research into it and how to project it across your social medias.
Yeah, like even if it's like you're like a tech specialist VA, you can't just think, oh, I'm a tech specialist. That's it. It's got to be, well, who wants that? Who
Mm,
needs that kind of support? I wanted to come back to the breadcrumbing thing. So I gave a live example on Facebook yesterday, because most VAs just post. They're just posting,
yeah.
and they're hoping. They're sitting back going, oh, I hope somebody sees that post. You're just never going to win business that way. I think I've got one client maybe on the back of an Instagram post. LinkedIn far more successful. But I gave a live example. I didn't show the video, but I did it while I was on the call, so you could follow along. You could literally go onto LinkedIn now, go into the search, type in recommend a virtual assistant. That's it. Recommend a virtual assistant. Hit send, and then filter search it by posts. At the very top was a post from someone asking for a virtual assistant. Then there's posts from actual virtual assistants. Then about the fifth one down was another post, someone asking for a virtual assistant. Do that every day, or
Mm,
3 times a week, or once a week, and then you DM that person and you say, I saw your post. I just wanted to let you know a little bit about me, what I do, and would you like a call? So there's so many ways that you can get business if you
mm,
feel the market is crowded. That isn't just posting on social media. It's been proactive. It's going into Facebook groups. It's posting consistently. It's networking. It's building connections. It's asking for introductions. It's reminding your family and friends what you do. I'm going to do this week. I thought, I've grown so much since I started out. I never post personally on my Facebook anymore. I don't think anyone really knows what I do now. I'm just going to go out there and say, "Did you know I do all this? Do you know I speak at
Mm,
events? Do you know we're award winning? Do you know?" And I'm just going to say, "Do you know anyone that might need a conversation?" Because it is the connections, the conversations that are going to get you somewhere. Personal outreach is massive. We have strategies where every week we're doing outreach on Instagram, on LinkedIn, we're talking to people, we're having coffees with people. That's the long game, but it's how you win the business. And remember, one client can turn into many
yeah,
because they're the ones making the referrals at the end of the day.
yeah. You made a good point there about social media. So I think I've certainly learned over the last 2 years that when you're posting across your socials, have
Mm.
a reason why you're posting. Don't just post
Yeah,
anything. There's no point unless you've got an end game of what you want to achieve out of that post. Whether you want to get traction, brand awareness, new clients, whatever it is, you've got to have a purpose of posting that on your socials.
yeah, yeah. And the one thing I've stopped doing is weekly scheduling because I found that I'm better like on in the moment on the day where I'm like, oh, that's happened to me today, and I can talk about that right
Mm,
now, and that's going to be really relevant, and it's just fresh, and it's
mm,
just been better because I'm not spending loads of time trying to think about posts. It's more relevant and it's got more traction by doing it that way as well. So I do think that's a nice tip if you can do it. That
mm,
is, but I do think ultimately you save time. Um, so I think right now the demand for remote support is higher than ever. So that's the good news for virtual assistants. That remote support is just it's not going to go away because we're not going to go back to the office. It is going to stay this way now since post COVID, where we
mm,
are going to be more remote now and be flexible and be able to work in hybrid situations.
mm.
And new niches, as we've said, and specialities are popping up all the time. So tech, creative, admin, marketing. It's really thinking about how you can come into this industry in a different way. And I would probably go as far as to say, don't call yourself a virtual assistant.
Would you?
It's too difficult. Yeah, people don't know what it is. You know, when I network and things like that, I always have to say, I used to say, because I don't say I'm a VA now, but I'm a virtual assistant. That's a remote PA, a remote personal assistant. If you
Mm,
don't know what that is, people still don't know what it is. And some people, if you, in fact, if you search for virtual assistant, you try and do like some research online, it will, in some cases, it thinks you're a chatbot. And if you put VA, it thinks you're an army veteran. So it's not really great for keyword search. So really talking more about what you are is much better. You're remote tech specialist.
Didn't
Yeah.
we have
So
didn't we have one of our VAs that she went to get her nails done once and she was talking to the nail technician about being a VA and she thought she meant a TA?
yeah, make sure that you get that language barrier sorted. uh, but it is. I would definitely probably say don't call yourself that,
Mm,
um, because it's confusing. People don't know. They don't know the benefits, and it doesn't show your skill set. Like
mm,
VA, oh yeah, you can do a bit of admin. No, no, sell them the dream. Like, what are you
yeah.
actually doing? You're saving them time.
Mm,
The way I presented myself at the last networking event I went to was I help business. I didn't say what my business was. I said I'm Lisa Tennant. I help businesses to scale. I do that in three ways because it's the only way you can do it: through your systems, your processes, and your people. If you don't have your systems, your processes, and your people in place, hate to burst your bubble, but you're never going to scale. So if you do want those things, come and speak to me. And that's it, right? I don't need to say, I'm Lisa Tennant and I'm a business strategist and I help. Forget all that. Straight to the point. What do we really do? We help you scale. That's all you need to know.
yeah, and I think it's the really key point is to continually emphasize to a potential client or a client is that you can save them time. That is the most
Yeah.
important thing to a client is their time.
Yeah, and what we actually do on our website is we have a running counter and we
Mm,
check realistically hours that we're working on with clients each month, and that gets added on, and we're at 6,100 hours that we've saved clients so far. Having
mm,
that visual is really powerful on
mm.
your website as well, showing people how much time you save clients. Don't be scared to ask for video testimonials as well. We've got video
Yeah, we've
testimonials
got
that
loads of
clients have
them.
given us. Yeah, we're good at that. But most importantly, embrace your story. Personal branding is massive right now. People are buying from people they trust in a different way. I mean, they've always wanted to trust you, but now it's more important than ever because of the rise of AI and deep faking and all of that kind of thing. So share your journey. Tell
Mm,
people what led you here. I've been talking about this. I did a post on LinkedIn the other week, Kirsty's face, and it was about how I lived in a homeless shelter when I first moved out house, and it got. I mean, it's probably gone up again now. It's got 10,000 views, 40 odd comments, reposts, people private messaging, and a sales call on the back of it. Right, just by talking about an element of my life that to me didn't feel like a big deal, and I don't really talk about that side of it. I don't really think about that as anything, but it really resonated with people. So you have to be brave enough to share you more with people because that's what they're going to buy at the end. It's not buying
Yeah.
the fact that you save them time or that you do admin and you clear their inbox. They're buying you.
This is the thing, isn't it? And when I had that call the other day, the client said to me, "Oh, tell me a bit about yourself," which is a rarely asked question when I have client calls. They don't. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? And as I was
I
talking
had
to her,
this. I had
yeah,
this as well. Yeah,
and
carry
she was
on.
like, "Oh, it's a really interesting story. Like, it's nice to know like your background and like what your family kind of where you live and that kind of thing." And actually, one of my clients I've worked with for like 4 years now, she said to me the other day, "I didn't realise you lived in Torquay. I've worked
That's
there for
bad, isn't
four
it?
years."
Yeah, we don't share enough. I mean, I've been privileged enough to meet clients in person. Like, I've known they're not going to be far, or I've travelled somewhere and I've met up with them, and that's just lovely as well. If you can do that, it's a relationship at the end of the day, a
Mm,
trusting one. They're giving you their bloody passwords and credit card
mm,
details and all sorts. So
yeah,
you got to really you got to get in there and fit in with their life. I think for anyone that's worried about niching down, it's okay to be a generalist VA, but do test some niches. Just test them. Just test a
mm,
couple. You don't have to have it all figured out, unless you were on my group program, of course, which you've missed. But if you are, that's what we've taught you from the ground up how you start your business, and niching is a massive part of it. The next one's in October. You can head over to morethanava.org and see where our events are, and you can put yourself on the waiting list for the next one and get £50 off. But I do teach this in the right way because do you know another thing that really narks me? VAs that post, "Oh, something exciting's coming. Can't wait to tell you all what it is." And then the next
nobody gives
post
a
is,
shit.
my new website's launched. And I think no one cares, love. Hate to be brutal, but who gives a shit? Like no one cares.
But to them, it matters. But for the person reading will be like, just tell me. It's like these. It's like people in there, like they're I don't know, they're going to hospital or whatever. And they go at the hospital, checked in at the hospital, and people go, "Oh, DM me," and you're like, nobody gives a fucking shit.
I
Like,
know, no, I know. And that's not to be mean. We've all done it. Like we've learned the hard way, right? But trust me, we've all done like the post, "Happy Monday." Who's that relevant to?
nobody
That's
and
just
nobody is happy on a Monday morning.
so when you're posting, like, "I've got some exciting," the only people who are going to give love to that post is your friends, your family, your husband, your
If it
kids.
stretches that far,
If it
people
stretches
just
that far,
scroll.
yeah. If you don't pick, look, literally got to get into the psyche of just solve the problem and tell
Mm,
people how you're going to transform their lives. Teasing them with a new website. By the way, if you're spending time building a website as a VA, it's such a big waste of time.
mm,
Stop doing that. Look, Kirsty doesn't have a website and she's maxed out with clients.
yeah,
Isn't that right, Kirsty?
yeah. I've not. This is the first time in years that I've been like over. I've actually got a couple of people waiting to work for me with me at the minute. It's like
That's good.
mental, and I haven't got. I don't like I say. I don't post on socials. I don't have a website. I don't really market myself. Most of my clients are off referrals.
Yeah,
Genuinely, they off referrals.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah. You
and
just need a proposal of what, like a slideshow of what you can do.
yeah,
Again, this is when I in our group program, it's at the bottom of the list. Marketing, no
mm,
branding comes in week three. There's
yeah,
so much more that needs to be done before that, and we're still not going to recommend a website at the end of the
no,
program. It's just not part of it,
it's a complete
and
waste of time.
yeah, there's a massive reason for that. You can't really build a website until you know your niche,
Mm.
until you know your ideal client, because then you're just going to redo it all, as
This
I've
is the
just been
thing.
doing.
Yeah, we had a VA years ago. She said she came on board. She said, "Yeah, I'm a VA. I got have a look at my website." Looked at the website. I thought, "Gosh, she looks amazing. She could do social media, website development. Build a website from scratch." Did a call with her. She went, "Yeah, I can't actually do any of that." And I'm like, "Don't market something that you can't do, because if somebody asks you to do it and you can't do it, you're gonna look like a right div."
Exactly, and it will ruin your credibility as an associate VA. Talking about associate VAs, that's the other amazing opportunity. So if you are coming into this new, definitely cut your teeth as an associate VA. In fact, most of your clients are from our agency, aren't
Yeah.
they? So
Yeah.
and that's worked really well for you. And I think if you can become an associate VA, um, I think the VA community is very collaborative. It's not cutthroat. It's not competitive. It's very
Mm,
collaborative. I've
mm,
spoke to loads of VAs and had calls with them, and I always think, is there a way we could work together?
mm.
So really thinking about how you could partner with another VA. Perhaps you've got services, skills that they don't have. It's the
Mm.
same as, like, don't wait to develop an agency. So if you're a solo VA and you are a generalist, but you know you could earn more money by offering tech skills, don't go out there and learn tech skills. Just partner with a VA that
Yeah.
can do the tech side. Take on an associate. So there's other ways of making sure that you're standing out. If you don't want a niche, or you want to earn more money, you want to be able to command more rate of pay. You don't have to do it yourself. Like, it is a very
Yeah.
collaborative community.
Yeah, and you're right. And also, when I became an associate of the agency, I learnt so much. Like, because the agencies will want to, teach you and develop you and things like that. Because at the end of the day, the more skills you've got through that agency, the more clients you're going
Mm-hmm.
to be able to work with, the more money you're making the agency. So it's all,
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
a win-win situation.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, I worked for a really big company when I first started out, time, etc. It's great, I definitely recommend it. Earned really good money on the back of that, really low hourly rate.
Mm,
But I made all my mistakes there, not
yeah.
under my brand. So it
Mm,
was worth it. It was a really good learning curve. I spent a year there and then went out on my own. I think the important thing is to not be too focused on perfection. Doesn't matter if something's not ready, not finished.
mm,
Just freaking get it out there and do it. Stop,
yeah.
like, these posts coming soon. Oh, I've got this web waiting. Just get on with it.
Yeah.
No, perfection. Some of the biggest coaches in the world, earning tens of thousands of pounds selling group programs, don't write that group program until the night of, or
Yeah.
the week before. In my group program, all of the materials there, but the slides that I do each week, I do probably the night before I'm due to do it.
Yeah.
You can close your weeks. I'm too busy, so
Mm,
you don't have to be perfect. You just got to get on with it. What you're waiting for. A bit of that is imposter syndrome, which is very
mm.
real, I think, for virtual assistants,
It is.
especially because I,
Gone.
I do feel like we don't see ourselves enough as business owners. We see
Mm,
the people we're working for as, oh, they're the real business owner. And then you get treated like an employee because you've let yourself. You've got to be the
mm.
CEO in your own business.
I think you're right. I mean, I don't, I never see myself as like, it's my business. I get that, but is it? Not
Yeah,
really.
why isn't it?
Don't know, because I just don't see it like that. I don't know why. I had a bit of a head wobble yesterday because I was like, look at what I've actually achieved by
Mm,
just sticking with it and putting the hard graft in of what you can actually get to. And that's the other
yeah.
point, isn't it? We've talked about it quite a lot. There are times where you think, oh, I can't do this because it's just I've not got any clients, or I'm throwing enough shit at the wall and nothing sticking and all that kind of thing. But you have to be consistent, don't you? And you've got to be in it
Mm.
for the long run.
Yeah, like 100%. The consistency is key.
Mm,
You can't, like I've just said, some of our clients they've come after 2 years of following, watching what we're doing. I mean, I've had calls with people recently, VAs in the VA community, that have been like, I've been listening to every episode of the podcast. I've been following you for the last few years. And I'm like, really? I didn't know any of this. I had someone who is a customer experience expert who's coming on the show, by the way,
oh,
to give advice about the customer journey. And she's like, works for a massive corporation that everyone knows and everyone will have on their phones. And like, literally super talented, this person. And she wants to start her own business. And she's telling me yesterday that she's implemented some of the things she's learnt from me just by following my posts, my emails, the strategy tips, and gone, oh, yeah, that's amazing. I'm going to implement that. That's
wow.
just amazing.
Yeah.
So the influence that you can have,
Mm,
um, you can't deny that, and that's why you have to kind of have that confidence and mindset of what you're
mm.
bringing to the table. I spoke to a new VA the other day that we've onboarded as an associate. She said, look, I just want you to know I'm brand new. Right at the end of the call, just want you to know I'm brand new. I said, but you're level of skill isn't brand new, it's 20 years old. And she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. But I said, no, 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 no. Please tell me you're not charging stupid prices because you're brand new. If you are a VA and you've got experience, you're not brand new. It doesn't matter. Like I always give this example. If you were a CEO, or let's say a COO earning 70K a year in a corporate company, got headhunted to go and work at another company, you wouldn't go, oh, I'll start at 20 grand a year then because
I'm
I'm
new.
new here. You've
Yeah.
still got the same bloody experience, haven't you?
Yeah. That's it, isn't
So
it? And I think anybody new coming into this VA world has to remember that. Yeah, you are
mm,
new, but your skills haven't changed. You can still branch
yeah,
out the skills
yeah,
and charge a
100%.
decent hourly rate.
Yeah, definitely charge a decent hourly rate. And one of the, the last session I did, session week 2, in the group coaching program, it was looking at your income goals, and it was doing it from this point of view where what you actually do is you say, well, how many hours a week have you really got that you can deliver work? Add in your time for buffer, to buffer time for, like, writing up notes, admin, that kind of thing. You look at what you was thinking of charging, what you're thinking of charging, and your costs, what your costs are. So let's say you want to earn 2 grand a month, but it costs you £500 a month to run your business. That's 2.5 grand you need to bring in.
Mm,
You don't take the 500 from that income, because then you're only earning 1,500. And then when you looked at it, it was like you probably got to charge £60 an hour. So you've really got to do the work to know your numbers, to know what hours and capacity you've got before you start throwing pricing out there and talking about websites. One of our VA members put a post out the other day saying they're looking at taking on associate. They're happy to pay them this much, and this is what they'll be earning off it. And I was like, that's not what you're earning off it. You don't
no.
earn that straight amount off it. What about your costs that go into that? It was
Mm,
like, I'm going to charge 45, I'll pay them 30, so I'll get 15. No, you don't get 15. It
no.
costs you to acquire that client, and you have to work that out. It costs us on average about £8.20 for
Yeah.
every client we acquire when you start to split it out. So you really need to know your numbers, otherwise you're not going to be making any money. So
That's the thing, isn't it? That often VAs are transitioning into agencies and taking on associates. They forget about those bits, don't they?
yeah, 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 and you've got to get that right. But I can teach you in my next group program, which is how you move from solo VA to agency. I think that's June or July. I can't remember. It's on the website. To wrap up, practical steps to find your place. So list your strengths and interests. What fires you up? What lights you up? What makes you happy? What makes you excited? And is there a niche there? Could you move into that? What's your strengths? So what can you bring to the table that someone else can't? Try out different tasks or different industries. You don't have to have that niche nailed down straight away, and ask for feedback from clients and peers. It's so important. Like, you can automate this as well. Like, we automate all of that when a client works with us. We automatically ask, through an email for feedback. But if a client says, I've been so happy, we just send them a text message with a link on straight away in the moment.
Yeah.
Definitely ask for that. Be proactive. It's not a bad thing to ask for reviews.
Mm,
And then keep learning and keep adapting. The first 2 years in my VA business, I went on a personal learning journey. I joined my local chamber of commerce. I was at every training course, every event. It like catapulted my knowledge tenfold. And now I don't go to any of them because I feel like I know it all. Somebody sent me some information about a program they're running that I was interested in yesterday, and I was reading all the modules, and I thought, oh man, I'm not going to learn anything new here. There
mm,
might be something in this week. It's a 12-week program or this week, but I'm going to have to wait till week 10 to learn that.
yeah.
And that's not going to work for me. Don't get me wrong. Don't think you know it all. I went to a strategy day for 500 quid, and I'm a strategist, and learnt loads. So there's still
Mm,
things you can learn, but learning is valuable. You've got to keep doing it. You've
yeah.
learnt loads. You called yourself at the start of this live a generalist VA, but you're not.
No, I forget about all of that. It's really difficult, isn't it? Because when you do things so often, you forget about the skills you've actually got.
Mm, yeah,
You know?
you do. And you like do lead generation, you do telephone answering, but you do marketing, which you
Yeah.
didn't do before.
And I do social
So
media posts too.
Exactly. So it is really important that you keep developing your skills. And as you develop those skills, you don't sit in the same price bracket as what you started. You charge more for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, so that's been really interesting. I hope it's helped people to know that you've got to just find your place in the VA world. There is room, but you've got to find your place. And if you don't, you probably will find that you feel like you're in a crowded market. But actually, that's just an illusion, I think. I think there's room if you can find what your niche is, where your place is, who your target audience is, and where they live. Next week, we're going to be talking about. Let's have a look. Building a future proof VA business in an AI world, which I think is going to be really, really powerful because AI
Mm.
is coming. I was actually having a bit of a heated debate with a friend after a few glasses of wine. Bad idea, I wouldn't recommend it. Last week, and it was about the future. He's a driver, right? Delivery driver. But do you know, this is the other amazing thing? I know we're finishing, but I live in this world that most people I know don't live in. So
Mm.
I live in a world that's full of tech and automation and AI and business. And then when I shift out of that world, it's probably why I don't post on my personal Facebook anymore. People don't know what I'm talking about. And you think everybody knows this and they're moving with you and they don't. And I was talking to this guy about AI and and how the first manual job that's probably going to be taken is drivers.
Mm.
And he was outraged. No way. Don't know what you're talking about, love. You're stupid. I was like, well, all you got to do is look at San Francisco. Barely anyone drives cars there. They're all driverless cars in San
Mm.
Francisco. Yeah, but that's San Francisco. Well, it's not because it's about to be all over America. And when that happens, it's going to be worldwide. And he was like, no, because you imagine they make a mistake and how much money it's going to cost them to be able to rectify when they get sued compared to a driver. I went, no, 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 that's your problem. It's going to cost them nothing because the technology is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's going to be so perfect that you as a human are more of a risk of the
Yeah.
mistakes you're going to make. It's
Yeah.
going to be that good. And
Mm.
he's like, that's never going to happen. I said, he
It's
said,
happening.
if that's going to happen, it won't happen in my lifetime. I said, it will happen in 3 to 5 years' time in your lifetime, mate. And he would just could not get that. He would not believe me. He weren't having none of it. And they're going to get displaced. People in these
Yeah.
industries that aren't waking up
Mm.
to the future are going to lose their jobs instantly. And I said to him, surgeons are going to be replaced. He was like, yeah, I can understand that. We can understand surgeons, but not a
Hey,
driver. Right.
what?
But, and it's going to cost, it's going to save companies so much money.
Mm.
And we've got to get in front of this. We've got to. So it's going to be an interesting topic next week to talk about how we as VAs can get ahead of that and keep our jobs. So
Yeah.
join us
Oh my
there on
God.
the VA Live Lounge next week. Thanks, Kirsty. See you later, guys. Have a lovely